Hey y'all, welcome back to Daydream Manor Flower Farm. I'm Dawn. I live in Zone 8B in South Louisiana, and right now I am sitting in my kitchen because it's actually raining outside. Y'all, I don't even want to say it out loud because I'm afraid I'm going to jinx it. I know some of you have been struggling with this drought too. I mean, this is just so unheard of here because at least we can rely on hurricane season. Because if we don't get a hurricane, we at least get a tropical depression or a couple of tropical storms or whatever that brings that moisture up from the Gulf and we get rain. That ain't happened. It has not happened. It's been rough. So we've gotten 2 inches of rain in the past 2 days, so I'm extremely thankful right now. But it's kind of put a halt to what we need to do outside. But hey, beggars can't be choosy. So I'm thankful for the rain because my raised beds need to be tilled up and amended. Mr. Daydream was going to do those the other afternoon, and he went out there and checked, and he was like, I'm going to have to run the water hose in them. It's like, this stuff is like concrete. I mean, that dirt is it is unbelievably hard. It is unbelievably just solid. And so that was like one late afternoon. We watched the news that night and they were like predicting this rain. So he's like, well, I'll just hold off because if it's going to rain, you know, there's no sense using our water. So he did, thankfully, and it's rain now. So hopefully he can get in and till it in the next day or so and we can get it amended. So I can get my cool season stuff out. You know, we do live in a very mild winter area. And I've said this before, y'all. We are very fortunate here that we do have an extended growing season. I mean, some of y'all talk about a 4-foot frost line. We have like a 4-inch frost line. I mean, it is insane the differences in the climates, right? But our winters don't get that cold. I mean, we may have a couple of days that hit us kind of hard, and then it's really mild. We really have a mild winter. I mean, we complain about it because we think, look, it is 68 degrees outside, and I got a jacket on. So that's who we are at heart. But anyway, I'm pushing it really close with these cool season flowers that are seedlings that are hardening off. Again, not because of the date of my first frost, which we had a little snap of a frost in October, but I mean, then it was 80 degrees again. So whatever. It's not so much the date, it's how long those seedlings stay in that soil block. So I don't try to go past 8 weeks. 8 weeks is really pushing it to keep them in a soil block. I like that 6-week spot. Sometimes I'll do 5 weeks. So it's like 4 weeks in the stem shed and then 2 weeks hardening off. Sometimes I'll do them after 1 week of hardening off, I'll go put them out. But what happens is the longer you keep them in that soil block, they're trying to grow and they're getting root bound. So you'll see the flowers start turning brown. They can start turning yellow. They may droop. Or they die because they're just getting root bound. And so that's I'm in that gray area right now. So if Mr. Daydream cannot get these boxes done in the next day or two, I'm going to have to make the decision if I'm going to pot up all of those into another soil block, bigger soil block, or what I'm going to do. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. So I'm just going to play it by ear. But that is a concern right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I did not fertilize them. No, I did. That was Friday. Yes, I did because I do fertilizer Friday. I fertilized them Friday because I was thinking, this Friday, I'm not going to fertilize them because if he gets them done, I don't like to handle that smell. Y'all, that smell is awful when you're trying to plant, but we'll see. I'm just, again, playing it by ear. Other updates. So my back, I had hurt my back, bending over, leaning actually to get a bucket of flowers for the wedding, to get my car loaded up. Y'all, it's been rough. Farming over 50 kind of sucks because of it. So we know what the problem is. I've had x-rays. I've done all the things. It's just going to take some time for it to work itself out. But I mean, I've done some dry needling sessions, which have seemed to help. I'm on my 5th new prescription to see if that works. But it's just been rough. I haven't slept well at night. I can't sit for very long. I can't stand for very long. I can't lay down for very long. I will say today was the first day that it wasn't as bad because it starts in my lower back and it shoots down my leg. So fingers crossed, hopefully in another week or so, it'll be gone. The doctor said in 2 weeks, if I don't have any relief in 2 weeks, we're going to start with some physical therapy. So, if we want to talk real talk about just aging, it's not just the collagen that starts going away. Like, I know I'm much weaker than I was years ago. Like, I know in my hands, like to grip in my hands, we've talked about that, like having the pain in my hands. And even just, I know my core is very weak, and I'm mad at myself because I was doing such a good job I had a regular exercise routine. I was hitting it pretty hard with Pilates, and I was taking good care of myself in that manner. And I don't even know what happened. I think I had to go on a business trip or something, and then I just didn't go back. I just didn't go back to the exercising, which I'm mad at myself because now I need to start over. But I'm making some lifestyle changes, and I'm going to do better as far as like exercise and taking that time for myself, because this is a lot of physical labor. And I need to be in better shape. I don't want to be 60 and I can't climb the stairs, right? Like I have got to take better care of myself. So that's going to be some lifestyle changes. And I'll share if you want to hear about it. Other updates. High tunnel. Y'all, if you follow me on Instagram, I did a reel about the high tunnel. We are so close. So close. Mr. Daydream has both ends done, doors, roll-up doors, all of that done. We need to put the big piece of sheeting on. We were going to do that a couple of days ago, but y'all, that's a huge parachute basically in the wind. And the wind started kicking up, and we were like, I don't know, we could end up in Mexico or Canada at this point. What do you want to do? And I was like, no, let's put a pause on this, and we're just going to pause for a moment. And when the weather kind of shifts again, we're going to go out and put that on. But once he does that, I can call USDA and have my NRCS rep come out and do her inspection. And then hopefully she will start the reimbursement process. So I did get a grant through USDA for the high tunnel. It basically works where the program that I'm on, we paid for it out of pocket up front, and then we do a reimbursement. They do have another program that if you cannot afford to pay for it up front, that you can do it in increments. So they will give you the money as you go. So you might want to look into that if that's where your budget is. I'm just ready for that money to come back into my account right now, because y'all know what I always say. I'm not getting in debt over some flowers. Like, that ain't happening. We've worked really hard to be financially secure where we are, and I'm just not willing to gamble with our future. So that money is always kept separate. But man, I want that money back because I need to look into the irrigation piece. Because this was the first year in 5 years that I have needed to water in the summer. I mean, we normally get an inch of rain every week. And this is the first year that we didn't get anything. So I got to be prepared for that moving forward, because who knows, that may be my new normal. I don't know. But I want to be able to put that money back into the farm so that I can look at drip irrigation. And I'm still toying with if I want to do garden mums next year. So, and that I have to order in January or February if I'm going to do them. So maybe, maybe not. I don't know yet. But we know what she's looking for in an inspection. They tell you that up front. In fact, when we went and signed our paperwork before I ordered the high tunnel, she went over the list again of the things that it has to have in order to pass inspection. So I'm confident we're not going to have any problems there. But we just need to finish that one piece so we can get it done. And then the last update for you is the boutique. Y'all, I'm so happy I did this boutique thing. I mean, I'm only a few weeks in, but I am happy about it. When I was looking, I was trying to figure out a way to have bouquets just that people could come by and pick up. I didn't really want them to come out to the farm to pick them up. I toyed with the idea of putting a farm stand up at the end of my driveway. And then I just thought about, do I want to stand out in the heat? Like, I don't know. Y'all know I'm not doing farmers markets. We've already established that very early on. That's not my jam. Sorry, not happening. That is like a lot of prep and a lot of work. And I just don't have that kind of time to lose. So I I started looking around. I found this boutique. She was moving into a much bigger space. She has about 30, 35 vendors. Never had a flower farmer there. My thought around that was being able in the spring to put my flowers out and really pushing my name out in the community. Because when I look at my demographics and my geography of where my clients are, where my bouquet subscribers are, they're all in the town over. I didn't have any here, like in my little community. And it's like, oh, we got to change that. Because if you remember, I said I was going to work really hard on building my local following and getting my name out. And so this was just another way to do it. I am very happy to report that over the past few weeks, so I had to sign a 6-month contract. Y'all, the rent is like this. I could sell 3 bouquets and pay the rent a month. That's all I'd have to sell, and that would cover the rent. So that should give you an idea. I was floored that I've sold enough in the last 4 or 5 weeks, I don't know, however many weeks, that I have made enough money to pay all 6 months of the rent. So that was my goal. Because what I said when I went in was, Dawn is not paying that rent. Daydream Manor Flower Farm has to pay that rent. And so I took a risk, and I've worked really hard getting my table together. I did some different things on it with the pumpkins, all of those things. And so I'm super excited. It's been a good experience so far. Next month, the next day or so, I've got to go back up there. Right now, it's kind of like a fall theme with gourds and pumpkins and that. I'm going to go change that over to my Christmas stuff. I did put my amaryllis bulb kits out, but I need to change the whole table into more of a Christmas theme for Christmas shoppers. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping to get some good foot traffic in front of my tables in the next few weeks. This has been a positive experience. So the goal is now my contract will end in April. So I can pay my rent through April. And which helps, because in January, I'm like, what am I going to sell in January? Like for Christmas, I'm doing the amaryllis bulb kits. I'm doing paper whites. Oh, y'all, look. In fact, let me see if I can grab this real quick. I've got it right here because it did wonky, but I did paper whites. Y'all, that thing's heavy. So that's got to go up to the shop. But I did like 9 of those, and then I did some bulbs just in the bags for people to buy. So I have Christmas ornaments to go out. So, like, I'm ready to flip my table to that Christmas. I don't know what I'm going to do in January. I'll probably just do some succulents, maybe just turn it all into a succulent. Oh, maybe I'll do fairy tale gardens. Okay, all right. I got to think about that. But then in February, hopefully by the end of February, I should have some more some tulips should start coming in, then my spring stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, that's where we are. We're just going to keep it day by day right now. Anyway, I'm not going to keep y'all any longer than you need to be. I know y'all have stuff to do, but thank you for being here with me. And I hope y'all have a wonderful